Oh, wow.
I think that was Unison.
No, I think so, maybe. We'll see. Let us know in the comments. I don't know. But insert RuPaul laugh here. I, I, it's gonna be chaos today, y'all. Sorry, but hello, and welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. Today I am drinking energy drink of the moment, which is Cherry Limeade, one of my classics. I love her dearly, dearly. But if I was drinking anything out of another vessel to drink out of, it would obviously be in a cup mug. Today, holding my pen and my dry erase marker because I think it's fun. I think it's very fun. And you could go get your cup mug and all of our other merch at lonagecreations.etsy.com. Link is down in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically within the US, so there are no excuses. Today we're looking at all the Drag Race fans, just all of you, all at once. And since David's not here, I today have a cute intro and a cute shirt. Because I'm wearing the only drag shirt I currently actively own, which is my Turing shirt.
Boom. Turing.
Boom. Turing. Not a part of this franchise, but I love her nonetheless. And I pulled this out of my closet today to wear. So that's what we're doing.
Work. And I am Brandon, your professional fangirl of Monster Dragon video games. As always, I am drinking water because hydration is important. And obviously, last time, as for people who saw, I'm now a Stanley Cup owner.
I hope you enjoy the lad.
Funny you mention how like a lot of your because like the cups of it all that I have.
Oh yeah, literally. I have like literally sitting on my dining table, which is where I record. I literally have like 4 different bowls with pens and dry erase markers. Like it's and most of them don't work anymore.
And I also have this. Ask me my name and pronouns.
Cute. I love that.
Let me talk it fine.
Well, while the straights and some homosexuals are excited over the Super Bowl today, we're talking about the Super Bowl of drag, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
I was like, cute transition. I like it. It is episode 6. It is a design, marketing, and branding challenge, as RuPaul said herself. And thankfully, in this episode, RuPaul looked like RuPaul and didn't look absolutely like she was going to die. Go check out our premiere coverage of Drag Race UK versus the World. Ding. Because she looked like she was going to die. But
I mean, look like or just sound like?
Look like or was actually sick and was dying.
True.
But we are here. It is episode 6. We're talking about it. We're going to dive into it. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we are here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. We've got 5 active drag franchises right now, plus some exclusive content coming on the way over on our membership. So if you would like to become a member of the Cup and join the tea room, the join button will be down here on this video and on our main channel. We also have a Patreon as well. Same content, different platform. Patreon girly here. I love Patreon personally. So both of those links will be down in the description below. We also have 2 other channels with Almost All Things Reality TV and Almost All Things Eurovision Song Contest. So make sure to go check those out as well. And the Super Thanks button is available on this video as well. If you'd like to leave us a cute little monetary tip, we greatly appreciate it. And all of that money goes right back into making this a better podcast for you. So we appreciate the support. Without further ado, let's dive in. We're coming back after the tragic elimination of a mandatory meeting.
My kitty.
But hey, she's doing great. She got railed by some guys in London, and you know what? Good for you, gal.
Work.
Purr.
Literally.
But everyone comes in. Everyone's sad. Q is a little shook up by the whole situation. She's like, I didn't see this in my fantasy. And when she walked into the workroom, and she was like, oh, baby child, I finally realized who she reminds me of.
Oh.
And this is in the best way because I love this person as well. Q reminds me a little bit of a younger Sugarcane.
Yes.
Like I was like, there is an energy there and it's energy. It's energy and like the polish of the drag because they both have that. I was like, there is a reference that I feel it in my bones. I just can't remember what it is. And I was like, no, she gives me like younger Sugarcane. And I love Sugar, so period. But I was like, I finally got it. But yeah, everyone's talking things and stuff and things. Everyone underestimated Thick and Stick, which I think is still the worst girl group name of all time, honestly.
Yep. Still, why? I'm just like, why?
Literally. And then generic Judy says she's turning over a new leaf.
Supposedly.
Allegedly. We'll see how long that lasts. But we come into the workroom the next day. The girls are talking. RuPaul walks in. And we get special guest for the mini challenge, Charo! Yay! I was so excited.
I love it because like after last season of the whole 50-50, I was just like they had to incorporate like after like Love Connie with this season too.
I'm like, I love that Love Connie and Charo are like the two mainstays now that just like pop in every season. Like, I'm really not mad at that at all.
No, yeah, I'm still shook about when she like was like the one small appearance in season 8.
Oh my god, yes, literally
during Snatch Game. It was like, and the winner is
Charo. I love that Drag Race has continually brought Charo back as well because she is an international treasure.
She is.
I love her. I adore her. But we are doing a flamenco dancing mini challenge with 2 flamenco dancers that they brought in, and I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think anyone did remarkably well. And I think there was one person that did not do well at all, and that was Plasma, because she almost fell over.
Yeah. I was gonna say Q because she could not dance.
Q could not dance, no. But a lot of these girls are dancers. I thought, honestly, all of the Latinas did really well.
No, really.
They were kind of the best.
And the fact that Morphine was the only one that wore yellow.
I know. I was like, oh, everyone else is in red. Okay. Cool. Party. But Xunami ends up winning the mini challenge. Thank goodness Xunami has won something. Xunami's won something, and I am excited for her. And she wins a trip to Spain. Now, I don't know if you saw on Twitter.
I did, actually.
Okay, so because Xunami is living in the US under DACA, she can't travel abroad, which I didn't realize was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So that's got to be like really limiting her and Geneva as far as touring is concerned. That really sucks. So Xunami was saying on Twitter how she talked to producers about it, because obviously producers knew. We literally talked about her and Geneva being a part of DACA last episode. Last episode, 2 episodes, whatever it was. So she talked to producers, and I guess they ended up giving her $5,000 instead of the trip,
yes.
Which I love. I love that Drag Race was quick to like remedy that, being like, oh yeah, it's very much so like when Sasha Velour won a mini challenge and she won shampoo. I was like, okay. And then Xunami said that she talked to producers and she decided to give the trip to Spain to Hershey.
Yes.
And I love that Hershey had no clue. And the interaction with them on Twitter where she was like, girl, are you kidding? Yes, Hershey. So technically Hershey has a mini challenge win, period. I'm counting it.
I'm counting it. I'm counting it.
And Xunami was like, yeah, girl, I wanted it to be a surprise. I'm so happy for her. That's going to be so good. I'm so excited for Miss Hershey Licqour-Jete. But we move to the Maxi Challenge for the week. which is you have to design a look for yourself and a look for your doll. In this design branding sort of challenge situation. I love this challenge.
I absolutely love this.
I'm surprised it took them 16 seasons to do a challenge like this, honestly.
Sugar and Spice's influence.
I was about to say, I feel like it has to be Sugar and Spice's influence. I was like, yes, I love this.
I mean, when you heard the real mail message, it was like you have the Bratz, the Barbies, all that. I was just like, so there was just like the dolls.
And they got rid of the doll last week.
As
per usual, the girls go home the week before a challenge that they would slay. Because Mirage went home before the girl group, Hershey went home before RDR Live, and Amanda went home before the freaking doll challenge. Now, do I think Geneva would do well in a Rusical? Spoiler. Probably not. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But we get some moments in the workroom as they're getting all their stuff ready. Brandon, what stood out to you the most about the workroom shenanigans and buffoonery?
3 people using the same fabric.
Okay, we got to talk about this fabric situation. Because Generic Judy grabs her fabrics, realizes that all of the fabrics she grabbed were tacky, and then originally goes to Geneva because Geneva had this red fabric. And Geneva was like, no, like, I'm using this. So Miss Judy was like, okay, well then what do I do? And kind of sneaks over to Plasma while Plasma's a little distracted with her sewing machine. And, I mean, asks for it. And Plasma's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So Plain ends up getting this turquoise stretch velvet. And then mid putting her look together, Geneva decides that her look is not going to work. And so Plasma then offers her turquoise stretch velvet over to Geneva. I'm just like, what is happening?
What is happening?
A mess.
I was like looking at those fabrics that Plain got. I was just like, okay, that could work for you. And then now she realizes, I was like, oh wait, this is not going to work. And
well, it's tacky, so it would have fit perfectly for her. I don't know why she didn't use them.
Exactly. Also, I wish I brought this up last week, but I noticed during the confessionals for Plain specifically, there were like 3 different shots of what her hair looked like out of drag. I was like, what the fuck is happening with that?
I don't know.
So I was just like, I don't know, like the filming process when they do confessionals. So I'm just like,
they as far as looks are concerned, they choose a look and they wear it every single time they have to go into confessional. But they're definitely not all filmed on the same day.
I know they're not. It's just
from what I understand, it's like they either take a separate day to film confessionals, or if they need confessionals in the middle of a challenge, it's like in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So they have like early morning confessionals, and they have like 4. I think there's like, at least there used to be 3 or 4 different storyline producers that would do those interviews in the confessional. I think with the bigger casts, they might have 4 or 5 now, at least to start, just so that way like one person isn't doing like 6 or 7 different queens on a cast of like 14. But I guess she just can't get her hair in order.
Yeah, that was just that was just an observation I wanted to bring up, because I was just like, huh.
I was gonna say, if we can track, what her hair looks like, we can see like when the confessionals are maybe filmed, or like what confessionals are filmed together.
Yeah.
I always find that interesting, because they cut and splice.
Yeah, they do. So
to make whatever they need to work. So
yeah, so back to the workroom too. So another one that stood out, of course, the Nymphia of it all.
Yeah. She's just like, I don't know what to And then literally just like lays on the floor in a panic.
But
And she,
not gonna lie though, Nymphia laying on the floor would be me.
oh, 100%. That's how I process things for sure. I panic and then I realize what I need to do. She said in Untucked later that because the girls brought that up, being like, "How the hell did you serve this?" And having a panic in the workroom. And she's like, she talks about how panic is like part of her creative process and how she has to like go through panic in order to like figure out what to do. And I'm like, I relate to that a little bit.
Same.
I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. And then we'll talk about what she ends up with later.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode was very obviously workroom heavy and very like Emmy moment heavy. Because then we go to the next day in the workroom and we get like a bunch of Emmy moment stuff. And we start with a conversation between Xunami and Generic Judy, where they're having a conversation about whether, like, the group is having a conversation about whether they had like dolls growing up. And Generic Judy is talking about how she wasn't allowed to have them because she grew up in a very strict Russian household. And so she was taught that like the effeminate in men is like not good. And she kind of explains, which, hey, I clocked a few episodes ago, I will say, but she talks about her point of view a little bit. I wish we had this this like sort of discussion sooner, especially
last week.
I was gonna say maybe while Amanda was there, because I think it would have informed a lot of things on Amanda's end as to why she was just constantly being bombarded by Generic Judy. But she talks about how she's very overly critical. She grew up in a household that was very overly critical, and she's very overly critical of drag because of what her parents think about drag, which is like not supporting it at all. And how she's so critical that like if she sees someone's drag that's not up to her standard, she devalues it, which I think is just fucked up in general. But like I understand hearing her say it. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense knowing what I know about you.
Like it makes sense, however, like
it's still fucked.
It is still fucked because a lot of this was just like, okay, because
it's even relevant to the conversation.
Well, I thought it was very relevant to the conversation in this moment, honestly.
In this moment, yes, but
and then she talks in her confessional about how she has a lot of deep-seated insecurities that kind of feed into that, and I'm like, yeah, we know, girl. We know. You continued that in Untucked this week because you can't stop. So we also see Xunami asking Plain about whether she's going to use her immunity potion, to which she's like, I don't think I'm going to use mine, but I definitely think Sapphira should use hers. And I was just like, no, don't get in Sapphira's head.
I was like, you better.
Dear. And then we see Sapphira kind of questioning things a little bit, and we'll talk about that more later. We also get Q's backstory, growing up very poor, with a single mom with 4 kids, and like that entire backstory. And as someone who can relate a little bit to that kind of story, I definitely was like, I see a lot of myself in this story, so I got it. And I definitely understood like the pressures that are there to like break that cycle. Thankfully, I've been able to, but I know that that's a very real reality for a lot of people. So I appreciate hearing that backstory from Q and getting a little bit more about Q. Because I feel like what we've gotten from Q so far is I'm really good at drag and I should have won a challenge by now. And then all of a sudden she's in the bottom. So I was happy to get a little bit of backstory from her.
Yes. And I really appreciate Q because like from the get-go, I was just like, I love seeing what you are bringing. I want to know like a lot more, and I'm so happy that's like coming up.
Definitely. And then I love that when Nymphia is like, I like being in this corner. This is the mean bitchy girls corner. And Plain is like, no, sister. I've turned a new leaf. And then Nymphia just goes, hey, sorry to interrupt everyone. Do you all think Plain has turned a new leaf? And in unison, everyone's like, no. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Because no, you haven't, girl. But that's really all. And then we go to the runway. Runway time.
Welcome to the dollhouse.
Category is welcome to the dollhouse. Even though there aren't any dolls on the season anymore, RuPaul. RuPaul.
Yeah.
Anyway. We got to talk about our judging panel because finally, La Roche is on the show. Thank you very much.
About time.
Oh my God. She was everything in this episode.
Literally. And
I honestly need Maddie and La Roche to be the permanent judges, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the tweet where it was just like, it should be Lonnie Love, La Roche, and T.S. Madison rotating?
And Nicole Byer.
And Leslie Jones.
We need a fabulous rotating spot for a fabulous Black queer person or woman.
That part.
Thank you. Or queer woman. All of the above are available options. Thank you. I would like that very much.
Mm-hmm. Again, La Roche's outfit here, like,
oh my God. She was saying in Untucked too. She was like, God, it took Ru this long to ask me. I was like, has La Roche never been out? And I understand she was definitely under contract with HBO for a little bit, which is probably why she wasn't on the show. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like, honestly, La Roche could replace both Carson and Ross.
That part.
I'm going to be honest. I don't find any, like, I have no ill will towards Carson or Ross at all. I will say that. However, I think personally I have moved past the need for Carson and Ross on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think alternating back and forth between T.S. Madison and La Roche would be the absolute perfect thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me. And I just think that would be the best case scenario.
Honestly, best case scenario, because not gonna lie, like some of the critiques, and we'll talk about it when I get there, like we were waiting for this type of comments.
Truly, honestly, just I'm so thrilled. So thrilled. Also, RuPaul, what is this? RuPaul. She's trying not to be tall because everybody else in the photo is not tall today.
Mm-hmm. But it also doesn't help with the camera angle too, because like with Michelle and Madison like up, like more front, and then of course Ru and La Roche in the back. I was just like, they could have angled it a little better, but
well, also this is a composite photo, so like
it is a composite photo, so
like it is what it is, but. I thought La Roche was absolutely incredible in this episode. Like, truly, honestly, just so good. And I hope that they ask her back. I really do.
I hope so too.
So, let's talk about our dollhouse looks. First up, Xunami Muse.
Okay. Oh, hold on, sorry. I had to throw my phone like on my bed anyway. Okay, I'm looking at this. I was just like, okay, it matches. Love how I love like the. Is that a different velvet from what everyone else was using? I can't tell with this.
I think it's the same turquoise stretch velvet. Honestly, there were a bunch of different blue velvets. I remember velvet was like one of the more dominant materials here, which I don't understand, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the same one.
Okay, so back to the workroom really quick. So I saw they were designing the dolls, but they didn't really show much of the doll part. Like, it's mostly them designing the looks. I didn't see them like design the doll. So I really wish they'd showed more of it because like I wanted to see what these dolls look like. And I will say that
they showed like the base doll, and it was like there were like 3 different skin tones, and I'm like, y'all could have done better.
I know
y'all could have done better here, but whatever.
Yeah, so yeah, this was like okay. Not a big fan of this top though.
La Roche said it in Untucked, and I honestly really do agree with this. I think the doll really elevated everything going on for Xunami.
Mm-hmm.
I think the doll is actually one of the better dolls. I agree with the top. I don't like the bunching that's happening in the front here. But I have to say, I actually do really enjoy this on Xunami.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the glove and the belt was honestly any other color.
I agree.
Like, I wish it was white or black or I don't know, because I love this like pinkish lavender sort of color that we have going on in the top, and I love this blue pant, and I think both of those are really nice together. This teal, I think it's actually a different fabric now that I look at it, because I think the turquoise that we'll see a lot later on is a shade lighter. So this is more teal for me, or not cerulean. I'm not going to make the double.
It's not. Yeah, it's not cerulean.
It's not cerulean. It's teal. But this teal fabric kind of breaks it up in a way that I don't love. And I kind of wish it was like either a white or even I think maybe a yellow would work if you're going for like kind of a primary color sort of situation, or like a black. I don't know. The teal throws it all off for me. But I have to say overall, I'm not upset at this at all.
Yeah, I'm not upset with this either.
And I think the doll really does. I think the doll is actually one of the better dolls that was done, because it looks exactly like Xunami.
Yes.
Whereas some of these girls did not do that. So
ooh, yeah, but oh my god, it's pants.
It's pants. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. And sewing pants like for a design challenge is not easy.
And the pants fit her pretty damn good. Like, I'm really not mad at this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. Scores for Xunami.
I'm gonna give this a 67.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I mean, again, not bad any in the means, but like,
sure.
Just like an overall, like I'm just like, actually, I'm gonna revise that. I was 76. So.
Girl, make up your damn mind.
76. That's final answer.
Okay, I'm gonna give her a 73.
Right work.
Next up, Morphine Love Dion.
I remember looking at this doll the first time. I was like, "Ooh, that's a huge wig."
Yeah, and here's the instance that we have of the wig not really matching the person wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to be honest, I love this on Morphine.
No, I love this.
She looks so good. For once, it wasn't all about the BBL. It was mostly covered. I just think the doll really kind of brings it down, because the doll isn't really styled at all in the way that she's styled here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just has like a solid panel going on the top on the doll, and then kind of this like ruched sort of like, do you remember? Oh, who was it? Kind of like those like panels, like what Xunami has in her promo look with the boots.
Yes,
it's giving a little bit of that. There's someone that did that on a look, and I don't remember who it was, but I really liked it. And I think if she had done that effect on the gown, I think it actually would have been really, really good. I don't mind the way this looks, but I wish the doll matched a little bit closer.
No, I agree. Because, like, again, the hair is too big. For some reason, like, on the doll, it looks like it's pants, but I know it's not pants.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, but, like, for designing this, like, they didn't mention much of Morphine's, like, sewing capability.
She can't.
Oh, she can't.
No.
Mm-hmm. But
No,
I
think they mentioned it during the ball.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I will say this looks fine. Like, it's not, like, bad, but it looks good on her.
Yeah. I think this was one of the more successful ones for me, I will say, because I really, really like the vibe that's going on here from Morphine. So,
do we remember some of the descriptions that they gave to their doll?
oh goodness, I meant to see if I could pull that up. I don't remember. I know that Xunami's was the Fashion Week edition or something like that.
Yes.
I think hers was just the Miami doll edition.
Sounds about right.
I don't remember what they all were, unfortunately. I'm gonna look it up really quick because I hope Fandom Wiki, please don't. Yay, they got it. Thank you.
Oh, work.
Xunami's was the Fashion Week edition. Morphine's was the Miami Bimbo edition.
The Miami Bimbo edition. Okay.
Yes. So
all right.
that tracks.
And that does track. And yeah, and back to the BBL thing, because, like, and what's funny too, because, like, there was a tweet that I saw, like, how are you gonna tell Morphine she's not all about the BBL, but this is a branding challenge, and they should have brought up the BBL.
Whatever.
And we'll talk about another queen that's coming up later, but
Dawn. We're gonna talk about Dawn anyway.
Yes.
Scores for Morphine.
This we'll do 81.
I gave her a 79.
Okay, fairly close.
Next up, Nymphia. I mean, there's one glaring issue with the whole package.
Does not match.
Does not match at all. I will say, though, Nymphia said in Untucked, the wig she's wearing is actually Amanda's wig. Which I kind of love. I'm like, I kind of love that.
And Amanda did mention in Untucked that they want my wigs.
Literally. I think this is very well constructed. I like this for Nymphia. It's different from what we've seen from her so far. So I do really appreciate that. It's just, it doesn't match.
It doesn't match.
It just doesn't match. And that really, like, when this is a branding challenge, like, I'm a little upset by it because I wish that the bow matched. I wish that the hair matched. But the gown she made for herself, I think, is good.
Yes, I love this gown. Also the headpiece too on the wig, and from the doll.
Right. I'm like, where's the
And something about this too, because, like, of course, another thing about, like, how people are, like, apparently some people are starting getting tired of the banana.
I will say, I'm gonna be honest, I am tired of the banana.
Fair.
I want to see something different. And I'm a little annoyed that the judges, like, she hasn't had an opportunity to be critiqued. Because I want her to have an opportunity to be critiqued so Michelle can say, okay, we've seen banana. What else can you do?
I'm trying to remember. Is it only, like, 3 looks that she did with banana?
Her
because it was entrance.
Her entrance, her first episode look, her ball look had banana, like, it was banana color with the shoe. What was the first ball? No, none of the other ball looks were banana.
No. Because, like, that's where I got it. Like, the diversity of, like, the drag that I've seen for Nymphia already. So, because I love, like, again, like, so, but aside from that, like, So looking at this, because like I wish the bow was matching as well, because that bow color looks good on the doll so well. Like
Yeah.
and I mean, if the panicking was panicking, so I can see why. But this wig, though, again, the fact that that's Amanda's, that's gag, that's gagula. And I thought she looked good, and I thought she was gonna be top because of how good this dress looked. But because it didn't match, like I understand why. So
yeah, I just wish overall the two matched, but I think the gown itself is really gorgeous. I love this kind of like double sleeve she has going on. If her gown matched the doll, she would have been in the top for sure.
mm-hmm.
You couldn't have taken a little bit off of that pink fabric that you have and just made a bow out of that. Nymphia, really?
Well,
scores for Nymphia.
I'll be honest, like I really love this, so this is a 90 for me.
I'm gonna give her the same score I gave Morphine, which was a 79. I don't like that the doll doesn't match.
Fair.
So, and if that's the challenge, then I'm gonna judge it accordingly.
Okay, good.
Next up, Sapphira Cristal.
I had to like double take this because like I love the shaping on Sapphira for this one. However, the dress itself, though, I felt like we already saw this in a way.
It's very, we've seen things similar to this from Sapphira. This is her brand. This is what she does. I think what she's done here is very solidly well done. She looks gorgeous. And I think she would have just been safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought she would have just been safe. Like, I think from first glance, I thought it was just like, oh, this looks different. Because like like the whole mesh thing, like I like the idea of it. I could have wished it was like executed a little better, but then again, because it's Sapphira Sapphire, like it made sense.
Yeah.
The doll's hair, I love.
And I wish she had done something like that with her hair.
Mm-hmm.
I like the mesh part as well. To touch on that, I like the mesh part on the doll. I don't think it translates as well on her.
Yeah.
And I wish she had, because I like the print. I think the print is fine. On the doll, though, having it just be this one big section of where the print is, I kind of wish she had taken like the bigger sections of the blue fabric and used that as the doll, and then cut out some of the gold pieces almost like appliques.
Mm-hmm.
Because the doll just kind of looked like it's a gold gown with blue accent with the mesh, whereas the gown that she's wearing is blue with gold accent with the mesh.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't all come together in the way that I want it to. But I do think this is a well-constructed garment. I think she looks good.
Yeah, she looks good.
I think she would have been solidly safe.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so sad about like the whole thing. So
I'm upset. We can talk about it here. I'm sad that she used her immunity potion. I get it. Because this is kind of the first time in the competition where she's felt a little unsure about where she stands in the lineup. So I understand her wanting to use her immunity here. She does say in the episode that like as soon as she said yes, she regretted it. And in Untucked, she does a whole walk back and she has a whole moment in Untucked by herself. And we hear her talk about how she really wished, like she regretted it immediately. And ultimately she let her inner saboteur win and let what Plain Jane said to her and kind of the looks that some of the girls were giving her in the workroom, she let that get into her head, which is ultimately why she ended up using it. I don't know if there's an expiration on it. I certainly hope that she didn't waste it.
I know.
But seeing where Sapphira is in the competition, I would be surprised, even next week, I would be surprised if she ends up in the bottom.
No, I agree. They did say there is an expiration, but they didn't say when.
I would assume it's probably like top 7
Probably.
or somewhere around there. Because I feel like it would be unfair to have it through like the entire end of the competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But scores for Sapphira.
I'm gonna give this a sensible 74.
I gave her a 76. Next up, Mhi'ya, Iman, LePaige. Oh, I keep forgetting to name what the version. This is the Queen of Flips edition.
Queen of Flips edition. Yep.
And I love that Sapphira's was the Grand Dame Diva Metropolitan Opera edition. And Nymphia's was the Spring Banana Yellow Carpet edition. So Mhi'ya here doing the Queen of Flips edition, despite not doing a flip on the runway.
I was waiting for a flip. Like that would have helped. That would have helped her. Like actually would have helped her. Unfortunately, with this outfit though, and fun fact, Sapphira kind of helped with this.
Yeah, she put a zipper in the back, and then you couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm. But again, like major kudos to like make a full leg and arm bodysuit of this, because again, that is hard to like sew in general. And then looking at the doll, like the doll looks better than I guess how this outfit was like, because like the shaping too, because like I don't think that's her breastplate either, right?
What?
The Mhi'ya's, is that her breastplate?
Yeah, she's wearing a breastplate.
Yeah, I know, but is that hers? I don't know if it's hers or not.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
That's what she's worn every week.
Oh, got it. Okay. So much how much I've been paying attention. Anyways, also this necklace, like I remember the comment that they made and the just critique. It was just like, should have been there, probably not. And then La Roach's comment, neck up, beauty queen, neck down, horror queen.
That was not for Mhi'ya.
Oh, that was not for Mhi'ya?
Nope, not for Mhi'ya.
Oh shoot. Okay, my bad.
I think this is, it's interesting. I don't love that the wigs don't match. And the bodysuits match. But
it does match.
It's just a bodysuit that's kind of ill-fitted and kind of ill-constructed. And unfortunately, the way she's made this bodysuit makes her look bigger than she is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cape isn't hemmed. It's just no.
And I'm looking at it now. Is that only one shoulder pad?
I think she has 2 in. Yeah, because I think they both fell out during the lip sync.
Oh, okay.
So I think I think both sides have a shoulder pad in.
Got it.
But yeah, no, unfortunately. Scores.
That has to be a 40 for me.
I gave her a 54 because I do still think it's a bodysuit that fits.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Next up, Dion as the Galactic Empress edition.
I love this. I really love this. Because and I'm surprised too, because like I remember in the workroom as well when she said that she was going to use the silver fabric, and like I hated that I saw it on the runway, but like you could see the other side from the silver, because like it was supposed to be a green fabric on the other side, but obviously she used the silver side, which makes sense with this color palette, which I love.
Yeah.
Now the weird thing is, I can't tell if it's because of the lighting from like the stage, but they said this was purple, but I see navy.
I thought it was navy.
Yeah, like I thought it was navy, but they said it was purple. So,
I don't know.
Which made 0 sense. I was like, oh, but
Yeah.
I see navy, but these two like matches so well, and also like Dawn's makeup that's not like full face, I was like, you can still see like that's Dawn's structure.
Yeah.
And I love these lashes. Love these lashes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Face incredible. Face
Mhm.
incredible. I'm not the biggest fan of this, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I think for me, what it comes down to, I don't know. I liked the color combination. I like the concept. I think the neck is bulky for me, and I kind of lose her. I lose her neck altogether in what's happening here.
Mhm.
For me, I know there's a little bit of sewing going on here. It kind of feels like two panels that are just kind of pinned here at the top of the bodice that then are just like wrapped around her. And it doesn't look, I know there's a fashion reference there. I don't know. I don't like the skirt with it either. This whole ensemble makes her look bigger than she is.
Mhm.
And I don't love the mix of this, like, I think it's a silk charmeuse in this navy. I'm gonna say it's navy. I think it's
I'm gonna say it's navy. So,
but this like navy, what I believe to be silk charmeuse fabric, then with this like glittering silver situation. I don't like the blue ends and the silver starts. I don't like that the doll doesn't match because on the doll it's blue all the way up and then the silver, and there's like a ruching effect to it. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite, unfortunately.
no, I can see that. I can see why. Because like I'm looking at the neck now. I'm like, I think that was like added and should have been just like the full with the headpiece or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Because like the fact that it's no wig, but which is like ballsy, but at the same time
Yeah.
good.
I like that for this concept.
Mhm.
I think that's really good for this concept, but yeah, it's not my favorite, unfortunately. I wouldn't have had her in the bottom
No, one have her on
by
the
any
bottom
stretch of
either.
the imagination.
Mhm.
But I don't think I would have had her in the top. So, scores.
88.
I gave Dawn a 70 because I do still think what is constructed is good. I just am not the biggest fan of it.
Got it.
Next up, Megami, the native New Yorker edition.
Come on.
I have to say, I was so frustrated that not once on this runway she didn't say that she was a native New Yorker. I was very upset. Megami. I want you to know, Megami, I was very upset. How dare you not reference the icon, the legend, and she is still the moment, Miss Wendy Williams. Now, come on now. But what do you think of Megami as the native New Yorker edition?
Like when I first saw this, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I'm pretty sure this is is it sparkle or sequin?
I think it's a sparkle. It's a glittering navy blue fabric.
Because this is a full bodysuit, like full bodysuit, and another one. Oh my god, it's pants.
It's pants. Suit.
Like this had me like floored. I was like, oh my god, how did you make this like in the short amount of time that you did? And I love how in her this was the description that like I remember the most with like when she said the D train, and I love how the orange accents because the D train is orange.
Orange, yeah.
So, and
I
love
caught that immediately.
And of course, the forget about it.
Forget about it.
And I love the whole orange glittery cup that you got from the bodega.
Yes.
And then now, only thing is, do you think the flowers were necessary? And then of course the butterfly, because I love it.
I didn't mind it, honestly. This was actually one of my favorite looks of the night. I was a little surprised that Megami wasn't in the top for this.
No, I agree.
I think this is one of the better things she's worn. I like it because I like the flower and the butterfly and all of the detailing that she has, because otherwise it would be a basic bodysuit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that there was that little bit of detail with it. I think this is so impeccably made.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hair with this. I love the crown with this. This doll is a perfect match.
Yeah, perfect match.
The doll is an absolutely perfect match. I love the orange detailing. I also caught it in her description when she was talking about the D train, because I have taken the D train. I was in New York one time.
Yes.
I was there. I've taken it. And I love all the orange detailing. What I will say is I think the crown detail is great. The flower and the butterfly is great. The forget about it is great. I wish that the coffee cup was actually a large, because she talks about it being a large coffee from the bodega.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be a large, or I wanted it to be oversized.
Oh,
I wanted that detailing to be a little bit bigger. The detailing on a whole, I think, could have been a little bit bigger. I wish there had been a bit more of the flower and the butterfly. Again, I don't know what she was limited to as far as what she had available to her. And quite honestly, that coffee cup is probably a coffee cup from Craft Services that she covered in orange something.
Probably.
She probably had that coffee that morning and then used that cup on the runway. So it didn't detract from the look. I just wanted everything to be a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this on Megami. I was so happy to see this from Megami.
Mm-hmm. Again, the cup, innovation. Just use what you got. I love it.
Yeah. Very that. Scores for Megami.
This was a full for me.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I gave Megami a 90. I just wanted the details to be a little bit bigger, and I wanted the performance to be a little bit bigger. But I think overall, it was very, very solid.
Mm-hmm. It's a solid look.
Yeah. Next up, Miss Generic Judy, the aquatic edition.
Okay. I look again. This outfit, like, this is well constructed. Like, I can't deny that. And of course, like, the whole like beating of it all, I was just like, like
The what?
The beat, is it the beating or the
the trim, all of the trim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the trim.
So I think what she did here is I think she took because this is the turquoise stretch velvet that everyone was using, and then I think she took the teal that Xunami used for her belt and her gloves, and that's the trim.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what she did.
Okay. Like the way that this is like so monochromatic, and with like with the wig, the makeup, like everything, like that. This was just smart. Like this was just smart for her to do. Now, was this her branding? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't mind it because like aquatic planes do exist.
Yes, I know. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it was that far of a stretch, but I also don't know what else she would have done for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I cannot deny, despite not enjoying the character that is Plain Jane, I cannot deny that this is not a good look. I think it's very well constructed. It's very well executed. The trim on here that makes it look like it's a bunch of separate panels, but it's not. So smart. The way that it cuts in towards the vagine on the bottom half of the bodysuit, I think is so smart. The skirt is cute. I think the doll matches pretty closely. The only issue is that the doll has this long hair and she's kind of got this like short in the top and then ponytail situation. I just wish the wigs matched a little bit more. And the arms of the bodysuit are a little ill-fitting around like the shoulder area. But otherwise, it's a very solidly well-constructed garment.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, like this, I can't deny that. And like, I loved like the ruffle detail as well. Because like the way, like, obviously it was just, we didn't want like just like a regular like bodysuit of that, but like, and also like the shoulder pads of it all as well, like just something about it. I was like, okay, like she knew what she was doing. So I cannot deny that.
Yeah. Scores.
That's much so I hate to say this, like I'm also gonna give this a full. So
I gave her an 83 because I just wish the detailing was a little bit stronger, and I wish the doll matched a little bit more. Next up, Plasma, the Passenger on the Pacific edition.
But not from the Pacific.
No. No, she's heading over to Europe or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was this kind of missed the mark. I guess she like being hung up on how she was trying to thread where she was trying to, not sure where though. Love the scarf though, because like the idea, but because it kept falling off, I was just like, no.
Yeah.
But I will say that scarf though too, like the detailing as well, like that's actually smart too.
I loved the detailing on the scarf. The detailing in general, I think that Plasma put into this was really, really strong. Obviously, because she had to, because she has a more basic outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the strongest part about this package from her look and the doll is that they are identical.
Yes.
That I think is ultimately kind of what saved her from being in the bottom two for this. I think the gown itself is fine on her. I like the detailing where it's the head wrap to the scarf to the belt. And when she said it in the workroom, I was like, I'm curious to see how this turns out. I think it turned out pretty good. Unfortunately, as La Roach said, a bad bitch knows how to use a bobby pin. Mm-hmm. And every time it dropped, I was just like, Plasma, no. Plasma, no. Plasma, no. Unfortunately, I can't go beyond the fact. I can't look beyond the fact that it is a very basic dress with detailing that did not execute perfectly. So I also don't love this color of wig with this. I like this wig on Plasma.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was honestly really any other color.
Yeah, I can see that.
I wish the wig was either black, brunette, blonde. Like, I think anything else would have looked better than this auburn color that she has here.
Mm-hmm.
So, a bit of a miss, unfortunately, for Plasma this week.
Yeah.
Scores.
This will be my 67.
I also gave it a 67.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, wow. Next up, Geneva Vroom Vroom Karr, the Daintiest Doll Texas edition.
Mm-hmm. This was the low roach comment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now I'm just remembering.
Oh, Geneva.
No, I was looking at this. I was just like, oh, okay. Now, I will say this. Like, yeah, she knows how to sew, which I was like, okay. But the unfortunate thing is, like, I think the time constraint got to her was where she was able to, like, because after starting over, I was like, okay, so I have to start back from square one, and this didn't work out. And unfortunately, the fact that we have two mismatching blues, it's like, oh god, that's not gonna work.
Okay, here's what I enjoy. The doll. I think the doll is incredible. I love that she cut out these circles on the doll's dress to create like her own paillettes for that. And I kind of wish she had been able to do that a little bit on the actual dress. I know she's got a little bit of that going on the sleeve, and I like that. I just wish the whole dress was made out of these paillettes because I think that would have been so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way that the ruffles are happening in the doll's gown, and I don't like how flat they are on Geneva's. I just wish she'd been able to prop them up a little bit, or even just made the ruffle, like brought the ruffle up from the bodice itself and just made it a neck piece.
Mm-hmm. Because the neck piece on the doll, like I wish that was like on her.
I wish the doll was her outfit. Like, I wish she had done that. Instead, it looks like a droopy version of the doll's gown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the makeup and the hair is always gorgeous from Geneva. I really enjoy that. But yeah, the mismatching blues, this turquoise stretch velvet again, like, yeah, it all kind of comes together, and it's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It was one of the worst of the day, but
yeah.
I just wish had she started with this concept to begin with. I think she could have executed a much stronger garment.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because her first original idea was like a red fabric with like the blue mesh fabric that Sapphira had.
Yes,
and that didn't match at all because it.
Yeah.
So
I wish she had taken the red and this turquoise blue. I think that's a really lovely color combination. I think those things could have worked together. Because I think make the ruffle the neck piece, and then have the bodice part be red. I think would have stood out a lot more than kind of all of these blues and whites and all of these like more pastel colors kind of all blending together.
mm-hmm.
So scores for Geneva.
You know what? Because I wish this was like as cute better, but I love the doll.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I love the doll design. I just wished it was translated better with Geneva. So
I think because the doll looks really good, and I actually think this is a bit more conceptual than what Mhi'ya gave. I'm going to give her a little bit higher than I gave Mhi'ya. I gave her a 57.
okay.
So. And last up, I had to save the best for last, and that is Q, the Fantasy Edition.
The fact that there's so much going on, yet it's meshed as well so together, like, oh my god, like the cape, the what's the piece in the chest? I can't really like describe it.
It's just this like structured body piece almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah, because the structured body piece in the chest and the like stomach area too. I was just like,
it's almost like armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they use that armor, like
yeah.
And I can't tell what like material that is, but like it is just.
I think the bodysuit itself is this like burgundy leopard print.
Mm-hmm.
Is kind of what it looks like, and then I think the bodice pieces are all this like purple holographic kind of like duochrome situation, and then she's got this brown fabric coming down from the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Again, like a lot going on, but it works well so together.
Yeah.
And like in the workroom, she said that she was trying to use these like. Originally, her like idea was like nudes. Was it? It was like dark nudes or something.
Yeah, she was going for this like more muted color palette to kind of give like a more like evil witch, whimsical fantasy sort of situation, and I really think she conveyed that. I think the doll looks spot on to what she did. I will say in that top shot, the way that her eyes and her face look, and I don't mean this as shade, in the face, she's giving me a bit of Tempest du Jour.
Oh.
And that's just because I've seen Tempest a lot, and like she's my hometown girl, so like I recognize her face shape, and the way that Q has done her makeup here is very Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that in the most loving way possible because I love them both. I think this is incredible. This was by far the best look of the night. I think the doll matches so perfectly. I love the kind of body pieces that we have going on in this like purple duochrome situation with the bodysuit underneath, with the headpiece, with these kind of like brown sort of like pieces coming out from the bottom. It's spectacular.
Yeah, it's great. And she did what needed to be done.
Thank God we were able to say that for one fucking person on this episode while La Roche was here. But because nobody else really did. So, scores for Q.
Overflowing.
I gave Q a 97.
Okay.
Because I've seen her wear better.
Well, true, yes. And I will say this too, like this gives like I guess colorized of her promo look in a way.
A little bit, yeah. It's similar. So those looks are on a similar planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that Q is kind of leaning into this kind of fantasy aesthetic because I got a lot of that from her promo look, and I'm glad that we're kind of seeing that come to fruition from her runway package so far on the season.
Yes.
But well, we go to the results and we find out our tops and bottoms. Our top three, we have Q, Dawn, and Generic Judy. Our bottom three being Geneva, Mhi'ya, and Plasma. Everybody else goes back into the workroom. And that result means that I believe Morphine and Xunami have tied the record for most consecutive safe episodes in a season.
Dang.
Because they have both now been safe for 5 episodes. And I believe, don't quote me on this. I believe the only other person to have 5 consecutive safe episodes was Skandalove on DragRace Italia season 2.
Okay.
So I believe that's the record. And if it's not, y'all will let me know in the comments that I'm wrong. So, but I believe that is now they are now tied for record holding. Because Morphine and Xunami have barely received critique. And the only time they received a critique this season was during the girl group.
Yep.
And then they were still safe. So, I want to touch on Untucked just for a hot second, because not a whole lot happens, but Sapphira gets her own little section because she drank her immunity potion, and she talks about how she immediately regretted it. She let the girls get in her head a little bit, and then the safe girls come back and they're kind of questioning her. They're like, Sapphira girl, why'd you use your potion? Like, I thought you looked so good. She's like, well, I just let it get in my head. I'm glad that we're seeing a moment of insecurity from Sapphira, because so far it's been very professional, very like she's the best here. So I'm happy we're getting a little bit of vulnerability from her in a weird and unique kind of way. We get all the girls coming back. All the top and bottom girls are talking about their critiques. And there was a critique on the main stage where Michelle is like, I absolutely love what you're doing with your makeup, Plasma. And was meant as a positive critique. To which Generic Judy then decides to stand up in front of the group and go, Plasma, how do you feel that like the judges are complimenting you about your makeup? And it's like, girl, you're grasping at straws, girl. Like, what? Huh?
What is happening?
I don't get it. And then Geneva claps back being like, I hope you crash and burn, plane. I love Geneva for that.
Yep.
I love Geneva for that. Plasma does kind of kick back going, like, I don't know why you're coming for me with this, because I don't get this energy from you. And Generic Judy is like, oh, well, I was coming at that from a place of, like, being your sister. To which Plasma goes, well, you stood up in front of the room, made a spectacle of yourself in front of everybody. And every time you've done that so far, you've came for somebody. So no, I don't see this as you trying to highlight a positive critique of mine. And I was like, oh, Plasma, you better read her down. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Because again, now that Amanda's gone, Generic Judy has to like switch to whoever she thinks is going to be the most insecure person. And in the workroom earlier, she decided she was going to try to come for Geneva and try to get Geneva insecure. Unfortunately, for Miss Generic Judy, Geneva's not that girl. And then now when she's trying to grasp at straws and try to come for Plasma, guess what? Plasma's not that girl either.
Mm-hmm.
Your insecurity is showing, generic Judy. You really should stop. Maybe focus on yourself. But... And then La Roche comes back, to which I think everyone was excited, but mostly Xunami. Because Xunami was like, oh my god, I literally just wanted to be on stage so I could get critiqued by La Roche. Like, that's all she wanted. And then La Roche came back, and they were like, I think it was Sapphira, was like, so for all of the girls that didn't get critiques from you, can we, like, get some critique? And of course she does. And they start with Xunami, and I love that La Roche was, like, reading Xunami down for the belt and all of that, but loved her look. She said that Sapphira was gorgeous and that she wanted to critique Sapphira, and I was like, no. And then immediately she goes to critique Morphine, and she's like, yeah, I just got this, like, this sort of, like, bad girl energy, this, like, Miami energy, and Morphine was like, you got it. I was like, yeah. She did. But yeah, La Roche was lovely. I loved having her as a judge. I thought it was gorgeous. So we go back to the runway. Obviously, like I said, our top three: Generic Judy, Q, and Dawn. And the winner finally getting her challenge win. Thank God they gave a win to Q.
Mm-hmm.
Deserved. I was very happy. Because you want to know why? Because Q...
I'm serving fashion tonight on the runway.
And that's what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Serve she did.
We find out that Plasma is safe, which I agreed with. And we end up, unfortunately, with a bottom two of Mhi'ya and Geneva, who had just won together last week in the girl group. And I was like, no. And I was like, okay, this is the Lipsync Assassin versus the Queen of Flips. I was like, they better give them a good song. And the music started. And when I tell you, I looked at that screen and it said Control by Janet Jackson.
Uh-huh.
I screamed. That's one of the songs that I have been waiting for years to see on Drag Race. Ever since they did the whole, like, Janet situation at the season 11 finale, it was like, more Janet.
Yes, more Janet.
More Janet.
And we got more Janet.
This is probably overall the best lip sync of the season so far.
It is.
Because I think Sapphira did very, very well in the first lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
Q did not. I think this was the most evenly matched lip sync of the season as well.
Yeah, evenly matched because, Mhi'ya brought it. Geneva brought it.
I was like, finally, we're getting some of the dancing queen energy that you had promised us. We saw a little bit of it in the girl group last week, and we saw it in her talent, and I was like, I hope we get to see that in her performance. And we got it. She was bucking, she was kicking, she was doing her thing, and I thought this was probably Geneva's best lip sync.
Mm-hmm.
So far of the season. But Mhi'ya, girl, she took out those hair ties from her wig. She pinned up her little cape. And every time she did a flip, and like that giant ass blonde wig would just flop down and then flop up, I was like, I am obsessed. I was like, this is the Mhi'ya I've been waiting to see. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Oh, such a good lip sync. Like,
I just hate it was so short.
I know.
And let me tell you, because like again, I've seen Janet live, and
yes.
I remember hearing Control for the first time live, and of course this being a lip sync, I'm just like, here we go.
Mm-mm.
I wish Lana was here because she's also obsessed with Janet. So.
I know. I'm so upset Lana's not here. I know she will take her moment next week to talk about how we had a Janet lip sync on this season, and I'm thrilled for it.
Yes.
I'm here for it. But she's a busy woman. She's making her coin today, and I love that for her. But
yes.
Yeah, I think this was a very, very good lip sync with a very clear winner.
Yes.
As much as I think Geneva did very, very well, and I think this was her best lip sync of the season, Mhi'ya kind of bodied her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, it is time for the Geneva Vroom Vroom Karr to travel back to Texas. But I am really going to miss Geneva's energy. She is just such a lovely, wonderful queen. Did you see her What You Packin' with Michelle?
I did.
Where she talked about how she wasn't going to audition for this season.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had a dream that she met Michelle. And so she auditioned for the season and this was the one she got on.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that is actually the cutest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is the cutest
Honestly.
thing.
I was like, stop it. That's so adorable. I love her. I'm so upset that she's gone.
Me too.
But
I'm not saying that because she was part of my draft.
True. True. But we love you, Geneva. Thank you for bringing all your positive energy. Thank you for representing Mexico, being the first native-born Mexican queen on Drag Race. That is a big achievement. I'm annoyed it took 16 seasons for it to happen, but I'm happy it was you, girl. So we love you, Geneva, and I'm very excited to see La Diva Más Latina all over. She's got to be coming sometime down where I'm at.
Hopefully.
Brownsville, Texas is not that far from Arizona. Geneva, come to Arizona, girl. We will live for you here in Arizona. I can tell you that much. And we love you, girl. So let's do a draft update. Because, oh boy.
It's getting competitive again.
It's getting very competitive. Very, very, very competitive. So, with Geneva being eliminated, Brandon has lost his first member of his team.
Yep.
So now Brandon has lost a team member, Eve has lost a team member, and Lana has lost 2. So Rhea and I are still 100% intact. Overall standings, though, we have Lana in 5th with 25 points. We have Eve in 4th with 39.5 points. Brandon, you're sitting in a very solid 3rd place with 46.5 points.
Oh, okay.
Not as far off because I am currently sitting in 3rd place, or in 2nd place, with 50 points. And Rhea is currently leading the draft with 52 points.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to think about it. I have Morphine, and Morphine has been safe every fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
And then Plasma's been kind of all over the place. And then Sapphira has been pretty consistent for me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But overall points-wise, Nymphia currently has the most points.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nymphia, and then a half point behind is Generic Judy and Sapphira.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I also love that Geneva placed 11th on the season, and in the draft got 11 points. Like, I kind of love that. But yeah, that's the draft. Next week, it's time for the Rusical. Yay, Rusical.
Good time, too.
Yes, the sound of Rusic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad it took them 16 seasons to do the Sound of Music, honestly. And I'm very excited that Adam Shankman is back choreographing this Rusical, because all of the Rusicals he's done so far have been exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited to see what they do with the Sound of Rusic next week. And that's that. So thank you for joining us for this episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16. We'll be back next week to talk all things Rusical. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe if you have not already. Hit the like button, share with your friends, do all those lovely things because we do greatly appreciate it. If you want to become a member of the channel, the join button is down below. You could also join us on Patreon. Same content, different platform. We've got a bunch of other drag programs happening right now, so make sure to stay tuned for all of our international drag coverage. We've got 2 other channels with Almost All Things Reality TV and Almost All Things Eurovision Song Contest, so go check those out as well. All those links will be down in the description below. You could also go follow our social media at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Plus, you could go follow Brandon and myself down in the description below as well. Whenever Brandon's on Twitch, go see him on Twitch. Sometimes. He's occasionally there. Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every time I get a notification from you, I'm like, oh, Brandon's live. Good for him. He remembered.
Not that he remembered.
Well, Diva.
I wouldn't say, again, I'm also a busy person.
We're busy bitches here. So, yes. And you could also go get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. Currently holding a pen, my glasses, and my DragRace marker today. You can go get it at longitude.etsy.com. That link is down in the description below. And with all that being said, cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
My kitty.
My kitty.
She's such a bitch.
Where's my kitty? Currently on her way back from London, I believe. I think she might be on a plane right now.